Hi everyone, this week's video I'm going to share about how I journal and what type of journaling I'm doing. Lately, thanks to my friend Tammy creating this lovely board for me, it's helped me keep on track and decide exactly what I want to work on at any given time. Before, I would just start journaling or I'd sit down at my desk and completely forget what I was about to do. The first one I'm working on is my 8x8. This is from a Archer and Olive subscription box I got a couple months ago. I do not know if they sell 8x8s on their own. I really like this size. I never had an 8x8. I was excited to use it, but the drawback was the line paper. I'm not a line paper person. I've enjoyed blank paper or paper with dot grid, so this threw me off a little. I have one of their larger ones and same thing happened. I still haven't used it because of the lined paper. As you can see, I have various items from Happy Mail, from stamps, envelopes, items that people have created just for me. This started just a couple weeks ago. Before this, I would put stuff in piles, and I think because of my autism, I would forget where it was. And then I would be hunting around and around for something that usually was right in front of me. I don't know if anyone else has that difficulty when it comes to trying to keep track of things. I've had this issue my entire life, even before I was diagnosed 2 years ago. And I said, this is ridiculous. I need to be able to have a system where I'm able to catalog everything. I do catalog when I get items in the mail from people. I have a A5 book that I made a page where it says incoming and outgoing mail, and I'll write who I sent it to and what, and then when I receive something. So that was fine. But the physical items themselves, for some items I would lose for months on end, which would make me sad and upset because I'd want to put it in my journal. So what I did is I started putting things in a box. Then I'd forget about them because I didn't see them. So I started using those items in my journals, and recently during the 100-day tags that I've been doing, which has been going great so far. Check over on Instagram. You can see all the tags. And then I decided when I got this, I wanted a different couple projects I was going to dedicate it to, but the lines just didn't work for me. So then I finally decided this will be dedicated to items from the Happy Mail. Now, some of these items, I just put a little sticky on the back of it because then I can hopefully carefully rip it out and use it somewhere else or send it to someone else. And then other items like the Just Note, that was from my mom. So there's private writing in there. So I just taped it in there, and that's just for me to go back and look at when I want to. Then there's been other ways I've done this, but it hasn't worked very well for me. So I'd love to hear how you guys catalog, if you even catalog your Happy Mail and keep track of it. Or do you just open it up, look at it, and put it to the side until further notice? This has been the easiest way for me, and it's been a little more, I wouldn't say creative, but just a little more relaxing, knowing that I'm placing items in that people have taken the time, thought of me, and sent it to me. When I send out things in the mail, I usually call it snail mail. I have a thing on Instagram called Snail Mail Tuesday, and I show what people have sent me in the prior week. And when I do that, I never expect anything back saying, okay, I sent you something, so you better send me something. But it's always a joy to receive items in the mail or just a note since they sent me something. Like this postcard, this Iowa postcards from a lady that we've become Instagram friends, and the joy of just sending each other postcards whenever we have the chance to. So I'd love to hear in the comments down below of what do you do with your Happy Mail? Do you even receive Happy Mail? And if you want to send me any Happy Mail, check down in the description box. I have a P.O. box especially designated for anyone to send me Happy Mail. And it for sure would end up in this wonderful journal that I've started. This gem of a journal was created by Maggie. She loves carrying around A6 size junk journals in her bag at all times. She goes, when you have that moment that you need to do something, just open it up and work on a couple pages, which I've done already. And I remembered that one of the pages you wanted to put on in an empty wrapper. So I said, why not the tea that I just made? This is a unique style of doing junk journaling. Most people I've seen, and even myself, I'm guilty of it. We make a cute junk journal with all these scraps and maybe we'll put pictures in it. But having one that has pre-journal prompts in it is just brilliant. That way you don't feel stressed over what exactly am I going to put in this journal. So while I've been working in this slowly, that it gives me inspiration for future junk journals that I might want to make for myself or for other people. It's just a really neat way of expressing yourself and not having that stress of exactly what am I supposed to be putting in this journal. So is anyone else using junk journals? Have you even created a junk journal? It doesn't take much. You don't even have to rip pages out of other books and then put it in another book. You can actually just use an old book and then just put down pictures, your thoughts on the different pages. As you can tell, there's some recipes, there's some blank pages, there's pages that she ripped out of an old book. Like this prompt was, write your name 5 different ways. I personally would have never thought of doing that, but now I have. I mean, what a fun way of being creative. So this is just another way that I express myself through journaling. Sometimes you just need inspiration that is not from the YouTubes or Instagrams. You just need something that you can hold on to and look at and read through. This first one is by Pam, who lives in Germany, and I've been following her for a while, and I was so excited when she made this little zine. I love her funky artwork and her words of inspiration. So when I'm feeling stuck, I always get that out to look at really quickly, and it always gives me a new spark. Field Guide to the Soul is by Mandy Ford. She is a artist, and she finally was able to put her artwork and her words together in one place in this wonderful book. I'll link down below where you can get a copy of this from Amazon. It's so inspirational, and I've slowly been reading it and working on some of the journaling prompts that she has given. And the reason I'm working so slowly is it is so good, and I'm afraid once I finish it, that will be it. I want it to last forever. As you can see, I've been using this A5 sketchbook. I call it a sketchbook. It's from SNAIL. It's a 365 book, one page for every day of the year. And in 2022, that was my goal. I was newly diagnosed with autism, and I knew that I now had the freedom of being my best self and being obsessed with certain things. I knew that that was a pattern that I had before my diagnosis, and then now I know it's just part of me, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I was really good for about 6 months straight trying to sketch in it every day. You can see that some of the pages were watercolored. This paper does take watercolor really well, if you're wondering. And then all of a sudden I would get in a funk. I would not be inspired by anything. I'm just like, well, forget this. I'm never going to accomplish it. And then I just put it away. And usually I would rip out all the pages and start again, but I decided to give myself permission to just pick it up where I left off and try again. And as you can tell, I didn't do much at the beginning of 2023. For the longest time, it was just the title page that I did and maybe one sketch at a coffee shop. And then finally, I picked it up again. I think about a month ago, I was just going, okay, rapid fire sketching. My definition of rapid fire sketching, I don't put a timer on, but it's trying not to erase, trying just to put down whatever you're going to put down. As you can tell, there was some very odd things that I put down and some basic things, I guess people call it. But it's just whatever came in my mind, and I didn't perfect it. In my group of Girlfriends Matters Co., that's one thing I've been trying to teach them. I've been using a book teaching them certain things just so I have like a guideline and I'm not overthinking it. But in those, I could obsessively make the details even more perfect and exact and just overthink it to the point where there's no fun in it and it's more of a chore than just wanting to do it. So that's what I've done in this one. Yes, I've erased a couple lines and things during doing this one in the coffee mug I just finished. But this type of rapid fire is just putting it down on the paper, and that it's not not saying that it has to be perfect, but sometimes people will do a sketch, then they'll go back and then they'll re-erase or they'll trace it again and change things. And for me, I was just wanting to put something on paper to have that correlation of pencil in my hand and my brain, which is really good for us. Unfortunately, in the years and years and years of technology, we have lost that. We to the point where they don't even teach typing or even cursive in schools anymore. Luckily, all three of my children were taught cursive. They don't all use it because they feel that the print is a lot neater looking, but they know how to do it. They know how to read it. I know there's going to be generations of people that won't even know. It'll be like reading the hieroglyphics of the Egyptians. So I always have tried to maintain some type of sketching. A lot of times also what I'll do is I'll use this book or another book for sketching. And then when I'm ready to put it into digital art, I'll take a picture of it. And then from there, resketch it and put the colors I want. So this is one of those sketches that I think I'll use in digital art in the future. I was thinking of the mushrooms, and then it's springtime and everyone, especially here in the Midwest, we so want spring to be sprung and the sun to stay out for more than a day. No more snow, please. You can hold on to the snow until next fall. So this is another way that I express myself through journaling. It's nothing fancy. You don't need to have this particular book to sketch. You can go to the dollar store and just grab a regular journal. You can use blank paper, paper from your copier machine, whatever you decide you want to do. There's some people feel that you need to have a certain item to do it, and you don't. Over the years, I have been blessed, been able to purchase things like the fancy Black Hawk, is it? I'm probably messing that up right now. The pencil that I'm holding, the Stology book that I'm drawing in, even the mono eraser. Years ago, I would not have been able to afford all of this, but now that I am able to, I have been enjoying it that much more of using these items. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of how you use your items when you are sketching, when you're writing words in your journals, or just putting items in journals. Thank you for watching. Remember, messy hands, happy life. See you next time. Bye.